Hello and welcome back to Miko's journey. What you see here is the first morning of Miko with us in our home. As we told you in the previous video, we separated Miko from Luna just to give them space to, to relax and at the same time notice each other's smells in the house, but still no confrontation, like direct confrontation yet. So this is the first night that he spent with us, and what you see here is Miko during his first morning. He just woke up. As you can see, Luna is sleeping elsewhere in her cat tree, and what you're looking at is the security camera footage that we were looking at in the living room. Again, we just gave him the time to wake up, on his own tempo, not rush him, not stress him in any way. So we woke up, we got out, took a shower, and made ourselves some breakfast, give some attention to Luna, which is very important. Do not forget about the cat that you already have when you bring a new one in. Always make sure that you give them equally enough attention and time. Just make sure that there are no big changes in the way you behave to the cat that you already have. So this is Miko looking outside. Just woke up. I think what he's doing right now behind that carrier is that he's having some breakfast. We have some dry food there. And and then I came in. We did not want it to let him alone for too long. We do not want him to feel like he's locked up. So that sometimes can happen when you lock them up like we did and then leave them alone. So just to break that vibe, the possible vibe, I just came in just to be with him and comfort him maybe and make sure that he doesn't not feel locked up, he does not feel alone. So this time, just to give him a little bit more to look at, I opened the curtains and I'm showing him the balcony. As you can see, he's completely relaxed, stretching here. And after he was done studying the balcony, he went back to his toys and started playing with them. These are the toys that came with him from the cattery. These are his own toys that we got. So as you can see, he's still sleeping with us. This was the first night. This is the first morning. There's the litter box that we made for him. That's the sorry about that, guys. Sometimes we have some traffic jams. So at this point I took out his little bed, that nice thick blanket that we had in the carrier. I took out just to start stimulating him to come out of the carrier and to make him realize that there is more than the carrier, to lure him out of the carrier. So I think what we did at this point is that we switched them. So Luna is now in the bedroom where he spent the night, and he's out. Again, just to give them enough opportunity to sniff each other's smell, memorize it, and give Luna the chance to see what's happening behind that locked door, and give Miko the chance to explore the rest of the house, to familiarize himself with the rest of the house, because this is going to be his home too. So we tried to put him on the litter box. That's the little robot that you see right there. Although he didn't do anything like a number 1 or number 2, but it doesn't matter. At least now we know that he knows that the litter box in the house is that one. And what I'm showing you right here is these 2 little balls. Again, these are also something that we brought from the cattery. And Luna found them interesting. There is enough smell, of course, of other cats, of the cattery, of Miko on these 2 little play balls. So she kept herself busy with sniffing them. It's funny because we had these toys back when we had Bagheera still with us before he passed, And for Luna, we got them these, but they didn't really care for it that much. So now I'm following him just to document this. His first steps inside the house. He now gets to walk freely, in this case in the living room. But what you will notice when you introduce your new cat, to the rest of your house, you will see that he or she is still a little bit nervous because they do not know where the perimeters are. They haven't set their boundaries yet. They haven't checked the space, so they don't know if this is all safe to them or not. So they still need to do that scanning. They still need to reconstruct, the layout of your home in their memory. And that's what he's doing. As you can see, he's putting some perimeters, the outer layers, if you want, along the walls. He's walking along the walls and then coming back to this safe place where he has the possibility to hide. And he will be coming back to this specific corner a couple of times. Go explore the rest of the living room and then go back and then come back to this. Also, this is the cat tree, of course, as you can see. So there is a lot of smell clinged to it. That's interesting for him. And I was just sitting here, just letting him do his thing. Go ahead and explore and sniff wherever he wants. And I was just sitting here. But that's it. Something else that I tried to do, as you see here, is I tried to play with him to make him feel more relaxed. But that was a little bit too soon, so he didn't really go for the playtime. He didn't really go for what I'm doing here, which was to be expected. You cannot introduce him to a new space and expect him to be relaxed enough to play with you. So this is fine. This is what I was expecting. It was worth trying, but I wasn't really expecting him to go for it. So I think this is it. Other than this, nothing really happens in here. He was really cautious, just acting like a cat would in this case. So nothing really happens. I stayed with him for about 10 minutes just to see if he will be relaxed enough to if he would loosen up a little bit, but he didn't. He stayed very cautious, and eventually he ran back to the kitchen, through the hall to the kitchen. So in the meantime, what you see here at the same time is Luna. Like I said, so Luna is now where he spent the night, in our bedroom. This is Luna on our bed. We locked the door. And at this time, while Luna is now here, Miko is still exploring the rest of the house, just to make sure that they're not in each other's way. And I think this worked really well. And this is something that we will advise you if you looked up this video because you're trying to introduce a new cat into your home, to your old cat. And like I said, especially in a small apartment. And that's why we're making this video, because if you have a bigger house, then you have many space to work with. But it's always tricky if you have a small apartment. Then you really need to come up with creative ways on how to have them both inside your home and at the same time provide them with enough safety, and come up with a way, like I said, to have them inside your home but separated at the same time. So this is how we did it. So yeah, so Luna is now checking out what's behind the closed door, because she hasn't been here the whole night. Normally she's free to come and sit with us. We'd give her we'd pet her, play with her before we go into the night, sleep, and let her have the rest of the house. But yeah, because of this arrangement, she was not able to do that. So something changed. That can give her stress too. So just to make sure that nothing is wrong, nothing changed, that this is still a place that she has access to as well, we brought her in, took Miko out. And as you can see, she's just looking around, trying to find out what's going on. She's on high alert, as you can see. Even her mirror reflection sometimes can scare her, just because she's expecting to see something, hear some other cat, because she's picking up the smell. She's expecting to see another cat, but she's not. And I think that maybe is confusing her a little bit, but also making her on high alert, as you can see. So yeah, so Luna stayed here for a while, and I stayed with her again just to make sure that she's not feeling locked up. And it always helps when they know that someone they know and trust is there with them. That at least makes them at least relaxed enough to explore, and to reassure them that nothing is going on. There's nothing scary about it. There's nothing going on. Nothing that can, how do you say that? Intimidate them. So while I was sitting here with Luna, at the same time, now Mike is sitting with Miko in the living room, as you will see. This is also footage from the security camera. So we always make sure that one of us is with the other cat. Always making sure that none of them is alone. Because again, like I said, this is a new space for them, and that sometimes can make them a little bit stressed. So just make sure that you're always with one of them. And I think if you're alone, then maybe you can keep going back and forth. Spend a little bit of time with this cat, then a little bit more time with the other one. It is doable. Even if you're alone, I mean. So now we brought everything back as it was. So now we brought Miko back to the bedroom where he spent the night with us, and where he will be spending another few nights with us until we make sure that everything is okay, that they're not on high alert, that they're not on edge, they're not going, that we won't be expecting them to attack each other. So that's the plan. So again, you guys, if this is the first video that we watch, please watch the first video. That will give you a little bit more of a better idea of what's going on, what are the arrangements that we made to introduce Miko to Luna in our small apartment here in the city of Amsterdam. So yeah, so now we brought them back as it was. So Luna is now having the rest of the home, and we're spending some time with her. We put Miko back into the bedroom. At the same time, we're monitoring what he's doing through the security camera that we have set up there. So we're watching both of them at all times. Yeah, this is Luna up there. She decided that's the safest place at this point, because I told you that, you know, she was sniffing around. She knows that there is another cat inside the house, but she can't see him. So she chose to be high and dry, as we say, up there. So here I'm back with Miko. As you can see, Miko is not on the bed. So having him run around the rest of the house obviously had an impact on him. So now he's trying to look for safety in a small enclosed area. That's why he wrestled himself in this little space that we have. This is the opening to the balcony. And that's where he chose to stay right after we brought him back. But we stayed with him, we played with him, we started to pet him, hold him a little bit, and then he started to loosen up again, relax. And as you can see here, he's trying, or at least checking out the litter box that we made for him. And he did go on it. All that excitement made him tired. So I saw that he was getting tired. He wasn't as playful anymore. And I decided to try this, to make him a little nest, see if I can lure him into that. Lure him out of his carrier. As you can see on the background, I flipped the carrier on its head, so it's not even possible for him to go in there, just to stimulate them to get out of the carrier and, try to stimulate him to also dare to sleep outside, like on the bed or in our lap. And it worked. But you need to go as slow as they are. You cannot do your own thing and go faster than they do. That only creates stress, and you won't be able to get them with you. So keep always reading their behavior. And as you can see, he's relaxed. He's now licking his paws, which is a good thing. That's what healthy, somewhat relaxed cats, at least, I'd say at least somewhat, because I don't know how relaxed he was at this point, but at least relaxed enough to groom himself. So that's good. As you can see, no stress. He's just looking at me, trusting me completely. He's laying with his back toward me, which means he's trusting me. He doesn't see me as a threat. Keeps grooming himself. At this point, Mike was back outside the bedroom with Luna. So I stayed with Miko through lunch. Mike made us some pancakes and he brought my portion. And I think that made him hungry, because he came to check out my pancakes a couple of times. So then we decided to give him some food. And he went for it. He loves wet food. When we brought Luna and Bagheera as kittens to our home, they used to love wet food, and then somehow they switched to dry food, and that's all we could make them happy with. So now we went back for Luna back to wet food, only because she had all her teeth pulled out. Not because that's something we wanted, God forbid. It's because she had some medical issues. So the vet had to pull out the teeth. It's very sad, but she now cannot have dry food. She can only have wet food. But yeah, so especially when they're kitten, apparently they do prefer wet food. So make sure you have enough of that. Here you see Mike. It's very important that if you're not alone and you guys are the two of you, it's very important to make sure that you guys bond with the new cat together, just to prevent the cat from having a favorite, just to decrease the chance of encouraging the cat to have a favorite. Just make sure that you both bond with the cat, especially in the beginning. Here he is again finishing his food. Yes, it's gonna be a little bit messy if you go for this solution that we're sharing with you, but nothing too bad. Nothing a vacuumer can't solve, so don't worry too much about that. Yeah, he kept jumping in that space. He wanted to go outside. At this point, he had seen the rest of the house, I think once or twice at least, so he wanted to go back to the house because he kept hearing Luna out there. But we decided we're not going to do that, the direct confrontation, not yet. We decided, we're going to take our time, do it step by step, and not rush them into anything. And that's really the way to go. Here he is back at it again. Miko loves food. He loves food. I mean, anything he can get his paws on, he'll chew it and eat it. He loves to eat. And though it's cute, but do not be seduced to do that, to keep giving them food, no matter how adorable they are, because they are kittens. They're not supposed to eat too much. So just look up. Just make sure you know how much he or she weighs, your new cat, and just look up how much they can have, how much food they can have on a daily basis. We just love to watch him eat. He makes these very, very adorable sounds like a baby. Sounds like yum yum. He actually says yum yum. That was hilarious. First time that we heard that, just cracked us up. Yum yum. And here you see Miko back in the carrier, in his nice fluffy blanket. Although we were stimulating him, trying to lure him out, so we took that out, but we put it back in because you cannot change a kitten that's new into your home in one day. So do it step by step. Lure him out, change some things, and then put them back, just to give him the chance to, to get used to the new situation. And just give him time to realize that things are changing, but not too fast. Otherwise, he won't be able to keep up, and that would give him only more stress. So what we noticed with Miko is that whenever he had his food, he seeks a place that feels safe to him, preferably on our lap or in this basket, and then clean himself, clean his paws, groom himself. So just make sure that he or she has that. Your new kitten that you bring into your home, make sure that they have that. Make sure that you get to know their needs, the basic needs, as soon as possible. That's the best way to help them. And after he wore himself out, he fell asleep, as you can see here. This is the security camera footage again, and we were looking at him. from the couch, the comfort of our couch in the living room. Like I said, guys, always keeping an eye on them. Just make sure that they're doing okay. And like I said in the previous video, only because we made sure that this bedroom of ours is completely kitten proof, and that's the only thing that encouraged us, to lock the door, leave him behind while he's sleeping. As you can see, he's waking up. His little head is sticking out. So that's adorable. He just woke up. And he's going to get out and explore. Again, look out the window. Sometimes he calls out. We figure out maybe that's him calling out to the rest of his family. Because remember, this is the first morning that he's spending with us. And here you see Miko outside again, outside the bedroom, that is. So we did that a couple of times, switching their location. So Miko would start out in the bedroom where he spends the night with us. We're gonna take him out, then bring Luna to the bedroom, let him have the rest of the home, and Luna sniff his sleeping arrangements, and then switch it back, and then switch it back again. But make sure that there is enough time in between for them to process whatever they need to process. And after this eventful day for him, checking out the rest of the home for the first time, he was worn out. And then evening came, and we put him back in the bedroom, getting him ready for the night, because he's going to spend the night with us again, as you can see here. And we noticed that the second night, he was more relaxed, he was more playful. You could tell that he trusts us more. He's feeling more safe, starting to play. And react to what we're doing, the way we're playing with him. He's not focused in himself. He's actually open to what we're doing, what we're saying. And he's responding to that. So that's a good thing. So yeah, this is how we spent his second day. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna leave it here. We hope, if you're watching because you're looking for a way to introduce a new cat in your small apartment, if you're living in a city, we hope this is giving you some ideas, inspiring you, encouraging you that a small apartment should not limit you, keep you away from not getting a kitten or a new cat, second cat I should say, because it is doable. And just remember, it's only the first days, maybe the first week, that you have to put up with this. So if you're watching because of that, we hope this is helping you. If you're watching because you're a friend of this channel, then we hope to see you guys, both, all of you, again in the next video, in the next phase in the journey of Miko, his journey into his new life with us. So we hope to see you again in the next video. For now, have a wonderful evening. From me and Mike, big hug. And as always, thank you so much for your support, your kind words, the way you guys reacted to the first video, all those private messages that we got, the compliments. We appreciate that a lot. It means a lot to us. So thank you guys. Again, from me and Mike, Luna, and Miko, big hug. Stay safe and have a wonderful evening.